successful comedian, won many awards, has his own DVD, and has his new comedy show hitting any moment now. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, please make some noise for the Cockney Prince, the one they call Quincy Comedian!
African and Caribbean. That's where my grandchildren are from, and I love them for that, right? Because when I had my first grandchild, when he was born, that was my opportunity to relive that scene from Roots. You remember the scene from Roots where Kunta Kinte got his firstborn and he picked Kizzy up and he raised her to the stars and he told her where she was from, her history, her legacy, and the ancestors. That's what I did for my first grandson. I picked him up and I raised him above my 7th floor council flat. And I told him he's from a line of Bajans and EastEnders and he's gonna inherit all my rent arrears. Then I picked him up, I raised him, I showed him East London. And I told him, look at the gentrification. Look at all the businesses coming to East London. Look at all the housing properties. You're going to be able to afford none of that. But that's what I did. And what I did as well, I looked at him and I passed him down something that's been in my family for years. The gas card. And I said, in a few years, that £6 credit is going to be worth a lot of money. Like I said, we've had a lot this year. We got a new king. King Charles? Do you give a shit about King Charles? Do I give a shit about King Charles? I'm not used to saying King Charles. I'm used to saying Prince Charles. To me, as far as I'm concerned, he is being typecast. He will always be known as the Prince. To me, King Charles is like Ross Kemp. Ross Kemp will always be Grant Mitchell. Doesn't matter what he plays, what he does, he could be a fellow that is Grant Mitchell playing a fellow. And there's my thing as well, you know what I mean? Because the royal family has been through it. They've been through it this year. I watched that Harry and Meghan documentary. And we all know that Meghan's been getting hate, isn't she? Are we team Meghan or are we team Marie? Are we team Meghan? I'm team Meghan every day, all day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you why I'm team Meghan. Because she's put some colour into the royal family. That's why they hated her. They were jealous. They were jealous from the wedding. You know when they first walked into that church, from they had that black choir, that's when the hate was there. They had the white one first, the white one was all right, soft and that. When the black choir come on, and then when they had the black preacher, we knew it was going to be a long, that's when the hate started, ladies and gentlemen. But here's my thing. I don't get why people are hating on Meghan. I don't get it. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to hate on somebody, hate on Prince Andrew. That is the one people should be hating on. Because we know what Prince Andrew stands for. That's right. And I'm going to say this as well. How can you organise an interview yourself and turn around and snitch on yourself? That was the first time, ladies and gentlemen, I realised to myself, I know what it's like now being a woman when you're sitting there and you're watching a man just lie through his teeth. I lasted 10 minutes. Right? Because Andrew was talking so much, even R. Kelly was like, shut the hell up. To the point, ladies and gentlemen, I would say this. Andrew is a guy, shouldn't be respected. Like his nephew, William and Kate, arguing with their brother. I feel sorry for William as far as I'm concerned. I feel sorry for William because you can't compare Kate and Meghan. You know what I mean? Poor Andrew and poor William's got to stand there and just sit there, just look at his flat, batty wife. And poor Meghan's just sitting there, he's got little curves and that. That's why Harry went back to America. And as far as I'm concerned, we've got a little person of colour in the royal family. To the UK, it's Archie. To black people, it's Harchie. That's what it's like. And this year, I've told myself I'm going to face fears. We all should face some fears, ladies and gentlemen. One of my fears I needed to face, fear of flying. Anybody got fear of flying? One of my fear of flying, ladies and gentlemen, is that I will get on a plane, but I've got to have a lot of drink inside me or take some tablet when I drop asleep. I've got to be on the plane. What I fear about flying is the taking off and the landing. That's when they say you're more likely to crash. And every time I seem to go away, there's always some kind of plane disaster happening around the world to make you feel that bit more paranoid, right? And the last time I went on the plane, I was going to Barbados, right? And I turned on my TV. There was a plane crash from China to London Heathrow, right? Ever since then, I'm paranoid of flying on the plane. So every time you go to this airport and it asks you those silly questions, innit? Did you pack the bag yourself, sir? Did you carry any sharp illegal objects? I'll be like, did you put any fuel in the plane? I've checked my things. Have you checked your things? Then once I'm on the plane, I'm still a bit paranoid. I don't do turbulence. And that's a very uncomfortable option. I don't do turbulence. I tell you why I don't do turbulence. When I was on the plane, last time I was on the plane was just cruising, just... And from that to that, I was on the plane with my children, and they would look at me scared. They was like, Daddy, Daddy, I'm scared. I was like, so am I. Let Daddy shit himself in peace. Just leave me alone for 5 minutes, please. Let me shit myself in peace. And you know, one of the things I don't get used to, do you know, like sometimes when you fly in the plane and the plane lands, if you're going to the Caribbean or you're going to parts of Africa, what's the first thing black people do when the plane lands? We clap. And it's no appreciation to the pilot clap. It's a thank the Lord, we land, CF clap. And like I said, this is where we're from. I'm from a very religious, like most of us, religious backgrounds. You know what I mean? I'm from one of them kind of, got it from my grandmother. Everything is thank the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. You know, getting grandparents, thank the Lord. Doesn't matter what you say, what you do, the Lord's name is always going to end in the conversation. Thank the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, thank the Lord. I could give my grandmother the shopping list. And she'd like, we need some Brussels sprouts, we need some roast potatoes and parsnips. Thank the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. I remember when I was growing up, I was a chubby child, I was a big child. I was fat, I was massive, like stretch marks in the fingers fat. And I remember I had, because of my size, I had back problems. And that's one thing you can't do to religious grandparents. You can't relate your problem and tell them, because they will always relate it to something in the Bible. So I remember I was laying there, my back was killing me. And my grandma was like, what's wrong with you, son? What's wrong with you, kid? And I was like, Grandma, my back is killing me, I can't take it no more. She said, I know about the back problems, son, I know about the back problems. It reminded me of a time when Jesus was carrying the cross, you know? But he never complained, you know? Thank the Lord, the Lord. I would say, for 2023, I do want to see a lot more changes for people of colour on TV. You've had a little incident, since George Floyd, we've seen a lot more black people on TV, which is kind of cool. We've had Channel 4 do 24-hour black programming, which is amazing. We had the first thing, we had the big breakfast with Mo and the rest of the guys, 24-hour black programming. I was happy to see that. As far as I'm concerned, I remember back in the day when very rare you saw black people on TV, innit? Very rare. Like certain shows you never saw black families. Like, who remembers the show Surprise, Surprise? Remember Surprise, Surprise? Priscilla Black would get a family on the show, reunite that family after 20 years because they ain't seen each other. Let me say that again. Get a family, reunite that family after 20 years because they ain't seen each other. And one thing we know about the black community, if we ain't seen a brother or sister for over 20 years, it's for a damn good reason. You can't just bring us on the show and not talking all kind of rubbish, talking about, is my brother here? If he's here, go to commercial break because he owes me the partner. But like I said, Channel 4 ever since the last couple of years, George Floyd and stuff like that, we see more and more black people. Big breakfast. I sat down and prepared myself. Set the alarm. Woke up. And just to let people know I was really down for it, I had a black coffee. I even burnt my toast just to fit in. And I sat there and watched it. The first 3 programs, that's about 12 o'clock. All black programs. And after that, I was like, you know what? I was blacked out after that. 12 o'clock, I was blacked out. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I actually rang up Ofsted. I rang up, where's the white people? What's going on? You know what I mean? What's this, some kind of... It's awkward. I want to give you guys some afters, some apple crumble or custard or something inside here. I've never seen so much people vexed in my life, man, but it's all good. But I want you guys to enjoy yourselves tonight. And just let you know, there's going to be some cameras. There's going to be some footage going to be taken. So if you're here with someone you're not supposed to be, just let the camera guy know, because right now we ain't got no money for cheaters. All right? So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure entertaining you as you stare at my ankles. Enjoy the rest of the night. Happy 2023. Good night, God bless. Thank you very much. That's my man, Cat.
Wow.
In the building.
I'm here.
Where you come, Cat? Really?
I'm here.
That's right. I'm still, did you get food?
No.
You get no food?
No.
I'm off for 2023.
Yeah.
I'm cutting out certain things.
What are you cutting out?
Pork.
Whoa. Okay.
Was there pork served in there today?
No.
No, no pork, no?
No pork.
No pork for me. Well, I say pork, no more sauce.
Oh, but then that means you can't call yourself Bajan.
Yeah, no, you can't be Bajan if you don't eat pork, boy.
Yeah, you can't say that you're gonna... So you're telling me you're not gonna eat no pork at all?
No pork, no pork.
What else you're not gonna eat?
Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Okay.
I ain't that much of a diet.
Okay.
And I might have one more. Another ambition.
Yeah.
I'm renting now.
A calf. You're gonna own a calf.
I'm gonna own my own calf.
And serve beef sausage, not pork sausage.
Beef sausage, no pork sausages. My calf is gonna be in Canning Town. It's gonna be in Canning Town. One of them proper chain the ketchup and the vinegar on the side.
You'll have to sell the pork sausage to live in Canning Town and have a calf.
Yeah, I said it, but I can't touch it.
Okay.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. God bless. I've got to shoot off now because my children are home in the car. So.
In the car. Cheese.
Yeah, take it easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Quincy comedian.